Hope I don't screw this one up too much, y'all. This is really important to me. Kind of an older bass fisherman's rant. Not necessarily about technology, just about everything. Some history. Anyway, I'm going to get into it because it's old school as it gets again right here. I'll be right back. I'm Dale Verts. Sitting here in the bass boat, think about going fishing in the morning. It's going to be a beautiful day. I'm hurting all over and beat up. Might take my wife with me, let her hunt for rocks. Just spend a few hours on Trimming Lake. I haven't been fishing enough and nothing to prove, so I won't have to kill myself. What this video is about, though, is history, legacy, nostalgia. Because I'm 60 years old. I'm finding out the older you get, sometimes all you have is those stories and those memories. And this one is more specifically because of what Rick Clunn did this past weekend in retiring from the elites, from the pro side of bass fishing. A lot of videos about it, and I'm not going to talk about Rick so much specifically, except that we're not friends or anything, but I know the man. I met him, fished against him. A lot of respect for him. He's the reason I decided to become a pro fisherman, so maybe I got some things to blame him for. It is all on me. When I first started bass fishing, one of the first things I ever read in a Bassmaster magazine is about him winning the 1977 Classic. And it was at that moment, that winter of 78, 79, I believe it was, that I decided I wanted to become a fisherman, a pro fisherman. So, man meant a lot to me over the years, and so I wasn't going to talk about him. I'm going to talk about this much. The man is ethereal, so deep, Zen stuff. A lot of people tried to copy him over the years. A lot of people took some pretty great lengths. They've reached out to try to be like Rick. And what happens with Clunn, well, Ricky, it just comes natural. He believes in the Indian, Native American spirit. He believes in deeper hidden meanings. That, and over the years, it's helped him a lot fishing. I've found it a few times in my life, not often enough, but I have had those moments when I felt like I know what Rick feels like. And if it's never happened to you, I can't explain it. Being in the outdoors is part of it. What gets me is how many folks have no appreciation for the history of our sport. I doubt if there are very many bass fishermen, tournament bass fishermen, younger guys that don't know who Rick Clunn is. But because Rick is still here, still fishing, he ain't done yet either. Good for him. Wouldn't you love to see him win an Open and qualify for the Classic one more time? Wouldn't that be awesome? But Rick Clunn aside, how many kids under 40, I'm 60, I can call a 40-year-old a kid, I think, and not remember watch his channel, so this may be a moot point. But how many of them know who Blake Honeycutt is? Ricky Green, Lindell Martin, Tommy Martin. Well, Tommy won the 74 class. History means nothing to these new fishermen. I know. They don't have the time invested old enough to understand how important history is. But there's a heritage to bass fishing. I think it's getting away from us. I've met some of my heroes over the years, fished with a few of them. I learned my flipping from Basil Bacon before Denny Brower. Basil was cutting edge flipping way back in the day. I learned how to jerk rogues from guys like Dick Collier. Fish a spook because of Charlie Campbell. Of course, I'm talking local. I just realized I'm naming all Missouri guys. We had our share of them here. I fished with Shorty Evans once. I may tell that story someday. I fished with Shorty Evans 1985 on Table Rock Lake. You don't know who Shorty Evans is, you're definitely young-ish or no appreciation of history. Look that one up. Shorty Evans was fishing tournaments when Johnny Morris was fishing B.A.S.S tournaments. Do the math on that one. The memories are so thick in my head. It's crazy. Some of the things that I think about and how much I appreciate the things I learned from those guys over the years and how most of it seems to be gone. I mean, let's get it right. Kids don't really care about history. I hated history when I was in high school. I've learned I like it more because I've lived so much history. But since bass fishing specifically to me is one of the most, for years, except for my family, the most important thing in my life. That's what's so sad about it now. The memories of watching Bassmaster, and I've talked about this before, I know, reading Bassmaster magazine back when it was, and I hear it's no good. I haven't had Bassmaster magazine in 25 years. I quit tournament fishing, I quit subscribing, I quit all that stuff. I haven't been a member of B.A.S.S since I quit tournament fishing. But it ain't the same as what it used to be. It's not the same deal anymore. But nothing is. I know things have to change, things have to move on, but I don't watch B.A.S.S on TV. I don't watch MOF because of forward-facing sonar. I refuse to watch it. Even when they're not using it, I'm just not going to watch it. It's just, I don't like a mix. I hate it when a forward-facing sonar clip comes across my YouTube feed on my TV because I don't like it. I don't subscribe to it, and I wish I'd somehow keep it off, but it comes across. How to set up your forward-facing sonar, that just ain't my thing. If it's your thing, wonderful. I have a right to it not being my thing. I have a right to saying it's wrong. But I think kids that are falling for, well, they have no chance, no choice. They're coming into fishing, it's what it is. It's like it would have been a Texas rig plastic worm for me. It's something you have to do, I guess. Sad. All the bass fishing grades that y'all have never even heard of if you're under 40, 45 or so. And truthfully, when I started tournament fishing and coming in fishing, I was already the second generation of B.A.S.S pros. It was guys, Stan Sloan, Don Butler, a bunch of those guys were already done. Bill Dance, I never saw Bill Dance fish a B.A.S.S tournament. I sure the heck watched Jimmy Houston and Roll Martin fishing, but yeah, Bill Dance, he got smart and got out early. And they're all my heroes to a degree. I know stuff about some of those guys personally. They're just normal people. But as far as from a fishing standpoint, some of them guys were exceptionally better than fishermen are today. I don't care. This new generation of fishermen are never going to be what they are as long as the technology stands in their way. They're not going to have to learn the things these guys implemented, designed, came up with all on their own. No copying, no cheating. They learn it and they pass it on to guys like me. Sometimes by hook or crook. Bobby Murray, though, sat down with me once and talked to me about some deep water stuff I'd never thought about. Just talked to me, sat at a picnic table, and we talked. Bobby Murray, look him up. If you don't know who Bobby Murray is, you probably shouldn't be watching his channel. He only won the Classic twice. Only twice. Basil Bacon, same way. Basil sat with me several times over the years, and we talked, and he didn't generally say, you have to do this, but once or twice he did. You need to do this. No technology. Just plain old mud and guts and working and getting down in the dirt, the mud, and learn how to do it. It's amazing. That heritage is all gone. I feel like it's going away. If you're under 45 or 50, you've already turned this off because you don't have a clue what I'm talking about. There's a lot of guys that watch this. Edward Cowan, guys that live some of this, they get me. Should I find it sad? Maybe the nostalgia and all that, poor old guy talking out of his butt. But I find it very sad. I wish they'd have a senior pro tour. Probably over 60. Because truthfully, 55 ain't a senior, I guess. Invitational only. They got to pick you out. It'd be real easy to go across the country and pick 150 guys. Besides the true heroes of the sport and the famous B.A.S.S guys, there's other guys that deserve a shot. That'd be so cool. It's never going to happen. too many politics. It wouldn't be cool enough for sponsors, probably. Of course, no forward-facing sonar allowed. You know, that'd be awesome too, wouldn't it? See, I'm whining a little bit, wanting to have the old days come back. It's never going to happen. We don't have Model T Fords for a reason either. I just don't like the direction that this passion that I have for this sport, the direction it's taken. It's just so wrong. And I need to script something like this. I had this thing figured out perfect driving down the road yesterday. Some of the names and the guys I met over the years, and the way that they made it happen, the accomplishments they made through their own doing. No technology, just getting out there and smelling and feeling and tasting. Like Bobby Murray talking about deep water fishing. He learned when the flashers all we had, and he still found fish with flashers. Now they don't help you, don't make you catch them like nowadays, but or help whatever. I get talking about forward-face sonar, I lose my head. These guys are true heroes. To me. If they weren't to you, you didn't live through the time, I guess it's okay. It's like NASCAR. I don't watch NASCAR. NASCAR hasn't had heroes in forever. The 80s maybe, I don't know. Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt days. I mean, I like the 70s. Those guys were full of piss and vinegar. Race cars sound like race cars and look like race cars. They look like a bunch of Toyotas running around. I can't even tell which one's which car without looking. I don't watch it. So maybe I'm the one that's backwards. Maybe. Who is your favorite old-timey bass fisherman? Everybody knows who Rick Clunn is. Everybody knows who Hank Parker is. Jimmy Houston. Bill Dance. But there was a ton of them that were there that never quite made it all the way, or on like a local level. I've had people tell me in recent years they know who Guido Hibden was, and they live here at the lake, and they're bass fishermen. Seriously, they have a bass boat, they're fishing bass tournaments, didn't know who Guido Hibden was. They knew who Dion is, they didn't know who Guido was. Guido Hibden, my personal hero, a friend, mentor, all that I go through all the time, who invented a lot of stuff that we all do to this day. Pioneer. Mean old son of a buck when it come to catching bass. He taught me there's always a bass there. Still hurts me. Always a bass right there where I'm fishing. He said, son, there's a bass right there. If you're leaving it, you're leaving that fish behind. There's one there. Now, talking pretty specific about what kind of spots. I don't have to talk about that. I'm not going to share everything with y'all. And it hurts my feelings this day because I know one's there and I don't catch him. So many times over the years caught him. So good at it. People don't know that live right here at Lake of the Ozarks are fishing and don't know who Guido Hibden is. It's shameful. All that history. And that tournament B.A.S.S. the other day, that kid that won it, him and his brother are so daggum good. They were good before the radar. I wish they'd get rid of the radar and let them show how good they are. I bet you'd have won that tournament without it. Been right to the top because that's how good he is. Anyway, I'm just lamenting. I'm going to work on some tackle. Basically, I've been ready to go for 2 weeks. I got some stuff I'm going to play with. I need to learn how to tie that knot with my fluorocarbon line I'm talking about. I haven't done that yet. Rod's still laying here from when I put the line on the other day. I got to go look that knot up, and I'm going to tie this jig on. But when I go fishing tomorrow, I won't be able to help but look around and think of things I've done where I caught fish over there, where I won a tournament over there, where I lost a tournament right over here. That's part of fishing. I also think about Guido Hibden. Weird thoughts come to mind at my age. The other day I was at Lake of the Ozarks, a couple weeks ago, and I started thinking about Harold Allen. What a great guy. Man, I like Harold. Met him several times. Because there was a point there, we fished by each other once, and he was practicing for a tournament. I was just out fishing. Harold Allen. How many of y'all know who Harold Allen is? How many remember those black and red team skeeters back in the 80s? When if you had a black skeeter with a red stripe, you had the pro boat. I mean, that was the pro, no wraps, that was the pro colors. Nobody else could have them. That's silly memories like that. And I'm just rambling now. I'm going to take my solar back glasses with me. I'm going to go I'm going to go inside and look up this knot, because one thing technology does, I can look it up on a computer, and I got to remember how to tie it. I'll get it wrong. It's a weird knot. Solar bat link in the description. Great sale this month, so I'm going to say, if you want glasses, you want inexpensive glasses, you want high performance fishing glasses, look at it, please. I'm going to go. I'm hopefully catch some fish tomorrow. Take my wife out, have a nice day for a while, take some food with us, not get in no hurry, and hopefully not hurt too much. God bless you guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what your memories are. And if you don't have any, let me know what it means to you. If you're under 45, I'd really love to hear from you. God bless you guys. Talk to you later.